I wanted to make a video about this perk for a while now. Hipfire Grip is such a strange feeling perk. Probably the strangest feeling perk in the game. I swear with Hipfire on some guns, it's god roll worthy. On others, it's an instant dismantle. Today, I want to go over some really good Hipfire weapons. And when I say really good, I mean exotic levels of good. Before we get into the examples, it's important to mention that Hipfire does widen your field of view as you can't aim down sights to use the perk, which can be very helpful for seeing more of the battlefield. It also increases accuracy, damage, fall-off range, and stability from the hip. With that out of the way, let's go into some really good Hipfire weapons. Perpetualist is one of my personal favorites for Hipfire weapons. What it lacks in immediate hipfire precision is an on-kill perk called Offhand Strike, which is essentially Hipfire Grip on steroids. Take everything about Hipfire Grip and multiply it by about 4. And the perk Offhand Strike lasts for about 6 to 7 seconds. What's really nice about Perpetualist is that it gets both Hipfire and Offhand Strike, so once you get a kill, you get to just melt from the hip. Let us talk about what I like to call Legendary Dead Man's Tale, also known as Nameless Midnight, which, despite being a scout, Hipfire works surprisingly well on it. It's probably because it's a precision frame scout, which because it's a precision frame scout, it has less recoil, and that kinda helps with the overall weapon bloom, it seems. I swear, though, when you have a good aim day with this thing, you're getting 4 taps from the hip from like 30-40 meters, which is similar to weapons like Dead Man's Tale, except, you know, Dead Man's Tale does it in 3. But they do have very similar time to kills, and I would highly recommend getting a god roll on this. Next up, let's talk about Syncopation 23. This is probably one of the top 3 best weapons to run Hipfire on, as it gets a lot of headshots despite firing from the hip. That's due in part because it's a craftable weapon, so you can upgrade Hipfire into its enhanced form, and that makes the gun feel a lot more forgiving. I feel confident to even hipfire this weapon from up to 30 meters, it's just that good. I personally run Headseeker with it as well, so in case I get a body shot, I get that extra aim assist. And also, worst case, you can aim down sights in case you fight someone at longer ranges. Next, let's talk about Boudica C. I adore this sidearm. I think it's legitimately the best hipfire weapon in the game. It feels as a legendary last word would. I can get pretty consistent headshots with it, as long as I'm aiming well. And it has a pretty similar time to kill as last word. Granted, it's like 0.7 versus 0.53. However, if you do choose to get this, I would highly recommend going max range. Same with pretty much every hipfire weapon. The more range you have, the more it hits, it seems. That and stability. These were only a few Hipfire Grip examples, but I hope I widened your perspective on this wacky perk. It's a perk I'd highly recommend giving a chance on weapons you're going to be using for PvP, no matter what the weapon type is. Because, worst case, you just dismantle it. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.